Welcome to NASA Dasha. Netflix keeps offering a wide variety of fascinating shows to suit all tastes of viewers, regardless of your preference for intense thrillers, profound dramas centered around characters, or imaginative science fiction. The platform has much to attract you. With its intriguing new releases and critically praised popular originals, the streaming behemoth has cemented its position as the go-to destination for entertainment that is worth binging on. Here's a list of the 10 finest Netflix shows to watch in 2024 if you haven't already. Number 10. Man vs. Bee. It is a 2022 comedy series created by Rowan Atkinson and William Davies. The show centers on Trevor Bingley, a struggling man who accepts a job of housekeeping for an affluent family and gets into an absurd conflict with an aggressive bee. Mayhem unfolds as he seeks to save the house from being wrecked by his progressively frantic endeavors while he tries to get rid of the bee. The majority of the action takes place in the home. The humor mostly stems from the mayhem that arises there. The show depends less on in-depth character development and more on Atkinson's comic timing and bodily actions. He plays the archetypal clumsy everyman who struggles to maintain composure in the face of ridiculousness. There isn't much story depth because the series is brief and primarily focused on physical humor. It is an enjoyable, quick viewing, but the slapstick humor is the only thing it has to offer. For the most part, fans of Rowan Atkinson's approach will like this lighthearted and humorous comedy series. Number 9. Woman of the Dead. It is a crime action thriller created by Nikolai Rode and Daniel Prochaska. The main character of the story is Blum, a funeral house owner, who is obsessed with figuring out who murdered her husband and starts learning unsettling things about the residents of her community. Her pursuit of vengeance takes her down a perilous path, where she must face her own inner demons, as well as outside dangers, in order to discover the truth about her husband's death. The story's gloomy tone and breathtaking views of Austria capture Blum's inner anguish and the harsh reality of her surroundings. The narrative revolves around Blum's character, whose development from bereaved widow to determined avenger is brilliant. Her moral degeneration is skillfully depicted, while a few supporting characters are flat and more of a hindrance than a fully fledged character. Even though the revenge narrative is interesting, some of the secondary plots seem unneeded and weak, but the primary plot never becomes boring. Overall, it's an ominous thriller with a terrific central performance and entertaining action. For fans of crime dramas and revenge stories, this is an enjoyable series. Number 8. The Tailor. It is a mystery thriller drama series directed by Sem Parsi. The central plot of the show is on Payami Dakimasi, a luxury tailor, and explore his life and the complexities that result from his relationships. Payami is well known for producing exquisite handmade clothing for the wealthy, but his work eventually gets him involved in a scandal. While truths about his family and customers are exposed, as he tries to keep his professional life going, he encounters challenges that threaten to destabilize everything he's established. The show emphasizes the fashion industry heavily, and features elaborate sets and costume designs that showcase the characters' lavish lifestyles. The storyline is enhanced by the supporting cast, which includes his wealthy buyers and relatives, although some characters come across more as story devices than as fully developed characters. The plot is visually spectacular, but it occasionally feels shallow, depending more on dramatic twists than in-depth character development. While the mystery aspects are intriguing, not every plotline receives the satisfying resolution they deserve. The show has 3 seasons so far, and each one offers an engaging plot that combines mystery and personal drama. Number 7. Copycat Killer. It is a crime thriller series based on 2001 book, The Copycat, by Miyuki Miyav. The story revolves around an experienced investigator who develops an obsession with capturing a cunning murderer. On the flip side, the murderer painstakingly replicates past killings, while incorporating a psychological and personal element that drives the investigators crazy. Through the news media, the murderer challenges the justice system, and the investigation turns into a show for the general public. The visuals are striking, emphasizing the psychological toll that the protagonists are taking, as well as the grim reality of murder cases. The prosecutor's fixation on the case is effectively depicted, with equal emphasis placed on his spiral into paranoia and his will to apprehend the murderer. One of the negative aspects is the often slow pacing of the show, which makes some of the investigation details seem repetitive. The series feels a little out of balance because some of the supporting characters are underdeveloped, despite the psychological aspect being interesting. Overall, it's a suspenseful psychological thriller that prioritizes mind control over physical action, making it appealing to those who enjoy slow-burning crime dramas. Number 6. The Fall of the House of Usher. It is a gothic horror miniseries created by Mike Lanigan. Based on the famous short story by Edgar Allan Poe, the show maintains the gothic feel of the original work while including contemporary elements. This gloomy psychological series explores paranoia, corruption, and family inheritance. The narrative centers on the wealthy and influential Usher family, who are plagued by sinister secrets. The leader of the family, Roderick Usher, must face his past transgressions in order to save the family members who are unnaturally dying. Roderick Usher is complexly portrayed. He is divided between defending his family's fortune and accepting the moral ramifications of his deeds. Other family members are given individual characteristics, although their inevitable collapse is prophesied early on. Although the show does a good job of modernizing Poe's story, there are some story points that seem a bit too long, and some characters don't have much more to them than just symbolic meaning. At times the blending of several Poe pieces seems forced, but Gothic horror enthusiasts will probably find the combination enjoyable. Overall, the adaptation is visually appealing and frightening, bringing Poe's work into the 21st century. It is a solid watch for horror series fans. Number 5. Berlin. It is a crime thriller series created by Alex Pina and Esther Martinez Lobato. The show is a prequel to Money Heist centered on the character Berlin. The show dives into his complicated nature and high-stakes heists as it recounts his early years as a professional thief. The plot begins with Berlin, where he prepares to carry out audacious heists throughout Europe. Every episode explores his personal life and interactions with his team, providing viewers with deeper insight into his motivations. Similar to Money Heist, Berlin has sophisticated, appealing visuals, together with thoroughly planned heist scenes and intense action sequences. Although Berlin keeps the thrilling heist structure of Money Heist, some viewers who are expecting something completely different but find it routine. The show is primarily reliant on its main character's magnetic energy, which may not appeal to all viewers. Overall, it is a great spin-off that provides Money Heist fans with more of the high-stakes adventure and charismatic leadership they enjoyed in Money Heist. Number 4. How to Get Away with Murder. It is a crime drama series created by Peter Noack. The series centers on brilliant law professor Annalise Keating and her students who get entangled in a murder conspiracy. The primary focus is on Annalise Keating, who chooses a team of trainees to work on actual cases. However, they quickly become engaged in a murder conspiracy and attempt to conceal their involvement in it. The show uses an unpredictable storytelling format, building tension using flashbacks and flash-forwards. The sleek metropolitan backdrop matches the high-stakes legal domain, and courtroom scenes are intense and stunning to the eye. Viola Davis's portrayal of Annalise Keating is the show's best part, and the students, Wes, Michaela, Connor, and Laurel, grow significantly as they deal with remorse and the repercussions of their behaviors. The show's dependence on unexpected turns and startling revelations keeps viewers interested, but occasionally the plot gets unduly complicated. Later seasons underuse several characters, but the gripping mystery and outstanding performances remain constant and keep you hooked. Number 3. Yu Yu Hakusho. It is an action fantasy adventure series developed by Akira Mori and Tada Sakamoto. It is a live-action version of the well-known anime and manga series Yu Yu Hakusho from the 1990s, which centers on Yusuke, a teenage boy who passes away suddenly while attempting to save a child. But after being revived, he has been given a new purpose in life to work as a spirit investigator, looking into paranormal activities. The story develops as Yusuke and his comrades must combat deadly demon opponents and prevent them from wreaking crisis on the human realm. The show makes an effort to replicate the supernatural aspects with contemporary effect, but it occasionally falls short of the anime's colorful and dramatic visuals. However, the energetic martial arts fight sequences is a standout. Although some fans might think the plot lacks the emotional impact and depth of the original, it is successful in preserving the essence of the original work. All things considered, this is a solid live-action adaptation that will appeal to lovers of the original work, as well as those who haven't seen the animated series or read the manga, because of its supernatural action and interesting character development. Number 2. Ozark. It is a crime drama series created by Bill Dubuque and Mark Williams. The series follows Marty Bird, a financial consultant who has to move his family to the Ozarks to launder cash for a Mexican crime syndicate. As he becomes involved with local gangsters, Marty struggles to continually keep his family protected while navigating perilous new connections. The show examines the moral conundrums Marty encounters as his illegal operations intensify and put his family at increasingly greater risk. The show's moody visuals perfectly convey the desolation of the Ozarks, and its rural locations add to the series' stressful tone, highlighting the danger that lurks in each moment. Marty's persona changes over the seasons, evolving from a cruel financial planner to a man tested to the brink of morality. His wife, Wendy, also turns into a prominent character as she gets more involved in his criminal activities. The slow pacing may turn off some viewers, particularly in the first season, but the high stakes and fascinating characters keep the drama interesting as it progresses. In general, it's a skillfully written story about survival, crime, and family. It is one of the best shows of all time. Number 1. The Last Kingdom. It is a historical action-adventure series created by Stephen Butchard. The drama centers on the unification of England in the 9th century and is based on Bernard Cornwell's Saxon stories. It is jam-packed with political intrigue and ancient warfare. The drama centers on the Viking-raised Saxon prince, Uhtred of Bebbanburg, and his quest to reclaim his birthright land. His quest is characterized by his personal struggle to find where he belongs in a divided kingdom and shifting allegiances between Saxons and Danes. The show highlights important occasions, such as Alfred the Great's era and his attempts to bring England together. The battle sequences are fierce, including brutal, deadly fights. The set and costume designs successfully recreate the historical era, while the cinematography emphasizes the harshness of medieval England. Torn between his Saxon ancestry and his Viking upbringing, Uhtred has a complicated personality. His connections with Viking warriors and Saxon emperors change over time, revealing his inner conflict. Supporting characters such as King Alfred, Brita, and Ragnar are well developed and bring layers to the narrative. The show does a fantastic job of fusing historical occurrences with personal drama, but the political plots seem overdone. But ultimately, the momentum is maintained by the action scenes and character journeys. For those who enjoy medieval epics, it is a must-watch.